Hello everyone, welcome back to On The Fly. Today we're going to be recapping the semifinal action of the men's Olympic hockey event. So jumping right on into it with the scores from today's games. We'll start off with a 2-1 shootout victory for Team Russia. And in this game it was a very good game between the two goaltenders, definitely a goalies duel between Ivan Fedotov for Russia and Lars Johansson from Sweden. And this game started off very tight checking, not a lot of opportunities early, but both goaltenders did start to get a lot more action as the periods went along. And Russia did score with 15 seconds into the second period, scoring, and that was the 1-0 goal. And this was definitely a time where Sweden started to feel a little bit of the pressure, although they really didn't show it, especially as they started to show the pushback against the Russians and started to take control of the game for the most part. And they ended up capitalizing on that with 4 minutes or so into the third period, where they did score their first goal, making it 1-1. And at the end of the day, Russia and Sweden are very evenly matched in this tournament. I didn't really realize how close they were until this game got played. But at the end of the day, when you have hot goaltenders like both teams did, they did make it quite far. And in terms of this, you can look at sort of who they played to get here, with Sweden beating Canada 2-0, and that was another sort of big goaltending game for the Swedes. And this sort of is the story of the tournament for Team Sweden, is that they're going to rely heavily upon their goaltending to get them there. And that's sort of what they've been doing and playing that sort of defensive style that allows them to sort of capitalize off mistakes from their opponent onto the rush. And that's how the first goal got scored, with the turnover from Russia turning into a goal. And that was definitely sort of the story of the game. Sweden unable to capitalize on their opponent's mistakes. And into the shootout we go with sort of a surprising turn of events, with Sweden actually going up 2-1 in terms of the goals, with 2 shots for Sweden, 1 shot for Russia. Sweden did miss, and then Russia scored. Sweden missed, forcing extra ends before Gritsyuk from Russia did pot the winner, and that knocked Sweden out of the gold medal contention, and that was the final of the game. 2-1 Russia in a shootout. We'll move on to the second game of the day, which we'll show right now, with Finland beating Slovakia 2-0, making Finland onto the gold medal game against Russia. And this was another big game with Harri Satiri from Finland and Patrick Rybar from Slovakia. In this game, once again, another goaltenders duel. The 2-0 isn't really 2-0, it was more 1-0, as Finland did pot a late empty netter goal. And there was another game where it was a domination of the goalies. And this is sort of the story of the day, with the goalies taking control and keeping their teams in it for as long as they possibly could, before, unfortunately for Slovakia and unfortunately for Sweden, was not enough to match the other team's offensive status. But with that, 2 very good games from today. Finland sort of took control, but it was a very close game. Slovakia unable to capitalize on any finished mistakes, and Satiri was probably the best goalie of today. Although I could argue for both Fedotov and the Swedish goaltender, but with that being said, all goalies today were very good, and I think if we can have that as well into the bronze and gold medal games, we are going to be in for quite a treat. So taking a look at the upcoming gold medal game, we have that coming up at 11:10 p.m. tomorrow night, February 19th, Eastern Standard Time, and we have Sweden and Slovakia coming up at 8:10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, coming up tomorrow morning on the East Coast, of course. With that, obviously 2 great games. Russia and Finland is going to be an absolute showstopper, and I think for sure that is going to be the game of the day. Obviously, anytime there's a gold medal game of the day, just sort of the way it works. But with that being said, I would not discount the Sweden-Slovakia game. Slovakia has definitely turned some heads at this tournament, knocking out a team like the U.S. and of course Sweden beating Canada, U.S. beating Canada. Here we go. It's going to be quite fun to watch, especially if Patrick Rybar can get going for Slovakia. I think we are in for quite a treat of both the bronze medal game and the gold medal game. If you made it this far in the video, thanks for watching. If you'd like to drop a like, if you really like it, consider subscribing. Tell all your friends, leave a comment down below your thoughts on semi-final action of the men's Olympic hockey event. Until next time, see ya.